When old Zhang heard this, he looked unhappy. Do you even need to act? Of course, we'll kill them all together. But his subordinate quickly replied, but President, the guild of the man and woman is the Magic City Bank. It seems to be an official guild, right? Modu Bank. Old Zhang frowned. Modu Bank is indeed one of the official guilds of Magic City. How could the members of this guild team up with 4 non-Chinese people? Old Zhang wanted to continue asking about the situation, but his subordinate didn't reply for a long time, until more than a minute later. The subordinate replied indignantly, "Fuck! We didn't plan to do it yet, but they did it first. The 4 black guys directly controlled our priest to death, and we all died and came back. President, please ask the Modu Bank what happened." After receiving this news, how could old Zhang bear it? Before the advent of the godforsaken game, old Zhang was the honorary president of the Magic City Chamber of Commerce. Although he is retired, his status and reputation are still there. Even the president of the Magic City Bank has great respect for old Zhang. As a result, the members of the Magic City Bank Guild actually killed the people of their Skydome Guild first, or they joined forces with non-Chinese people to kill the Daxia people together. Can this be tolerated? So, old Zhang immediately contacted the official and asked the Magic City Bank to give an explanation. A few minutes ago, Wu Mingji brought his young wife and 4 management members of the Magic City Black Dragon Hall to go out for leveling together. Wu Mingji, who belongs to the Magic City Bank Guild, was originally the son of a senior executive of the Magic City Bank. After returning from studying abroad, he joined the Magic City Bank as a business manager of a department. After the arrival of the godforsaken game, he joined the Modu Bank Guild and became a small supervisor of the material department. And his wife, Yuan Cece, who also returned from studying in North America, has a pretty good family background. Logically speaking, the conditions of this couple are better than most civilians, and they can grow stronger steadily. But it happened that during her study abroad, Yuan Cece thought she had received a better education and witnessed a more civilized society, which gave her an inexplicable sense of superiority. So, recently, the Black Dragon Palace in the Magic City was besieged by the Sky Guild, and Yuan Cece stood up. She kept criticizing and accusing the Sky Guild of barbarity and cruelty, and even posted these things on the internet, which aroused strong support from countless foreign players. This also made Yuan Cece more inflated. She felt that her thoughts were the mainstream thoughts in this world and the most civilized thought. Of course, Yuan Cece did not have any good feelings towards non-Chinese people. She just wanted to satisfy her sense of superiority through this matter. And her brainwashed cognition made her feel that as long as she stood up to speak for the Black Dragon Palace in the Magic City, she would stand on the moral high ground and represent civilization. Although many people were criticizing her on many forums in China, but she didn't think she did anything wrong. It's enough to show how barbaric Daxia is, and it's a long way from real civilization. How dare you say you can catch up with North America? Yuan Cece sneered. As for her husband Wu Mingji, he was not as keen on defending human rights as she was. But from this incident, Wu Mingji saw an opportunity. The death of Quitil and Guanggang means the fall of the largest non-national force in Daxia. It can be predicted that the Black Dragon Hall and the Magic City will soon usher in a more brutal reckoning than if I can guarantee their survival. Can I recruit and integrate all the non-national players in the Magic City to form a force of my own? That's right. Wu Mingji only has interests in his eyes, and he is not a human rights defender at all. He just found this excuse to try to save those non-national players and recruit them as black slaves. I can set up a high-tax guild in the name of the government, collect these black slaves, and let them work for me. Part of the income will be given to the government, another part will be given to the Sky Guild and Shadow, so that they will take the lead in stopping killing black people. The rest will be kept by myself, even if only a part is kept. Wu Mingji will make a lot of money. Because of this, Wu Mingji and his wife Yuan Cece found the current president of the Black Dragon Hall of the Magic City, Thompson, and 3 other elders of the Black Dragon Hall of the Magic City. The 6 of them went out as a team, preparing to kill monsters and get closer while discussing issues about the guild. As a result, they met a team from the Sky Guild before leaving the ruins of the Magic City. As usual, the team of the Sky Guild would definitely attack directly when they saw the members of the Black Dragon Hall of the Magic City. But this time, because of Wu Mingji and Yuan Cece's identities, the team of the Skydome Guild first came up to ask about the situation, in order to gain the support of Thompson and others. Wu Mingji and Yuan Cece turned into human rights defenders and started to criticize on the spot, saying that the Skydome Guild's massacre of non-national players was disregarding human rights and racial discrimination. The Skydome Guild team couldn't stand it anymore, so they contacted Lao Zhang to ask for a solution. As a result, the 4 non-nationals of the Black Dragon Hall of the Magic City, relying on the support of Wu Mingji and Yuan Cece behind them, actually took the initiative. They can become the president and elders of the Black Dragon Hall of the Magic City. So they are naturally the strongest in the Black Dragon Hall of the Magic City. The 4 people joined forces to control the priest player of the Skydome Guild team to death. Wu Mingji and Yuan Cece stood on the side of Thompson and others, helping with treatment and control, and soon killed all 6 people of the Skydome Guild. Yuan Cece wore a gold-level robe and looked very superior. These people from the Sky Guild are so barbaric and rude. She stepped on the body of a female shooter from the Sky Guild and unscrupulously absorbed the life force that burst out from her. although it was not much. It was the spoils of the winner, which fully satisfied UNCC's vanity. Wu Mingji sneered and said, "We killed the people from the Sky Dome Guild, and the Magic City officials will definitely ask us about the situation. At that time, we can insist that the other party started it first. Anyway, they have no evidence." The president of the Magic City Black Dragon Hall, Thompson, smiled, showing his white teeth. "I knew that there was nothing wrong with cooperating with Mr. Wu. The Sky Dome Guild has been killing our people, and we have long disliked them." UNCC smiled and said, "Right, they are all rude primitives, not civilized at all, and have never seen the appearance of a civilized society. A truly civilized society will not have racial discrimination. My husband and I want to eliminate this phenomenon and provide you with a superior living and development environment." Thompson looked up and down at UNCC's figure and said meaningfully, "Madame is so wise. We didn't offend anyone, but we were hunted down by the Sky Dome Guild. It's so innocent." Thompson's eyes made UNCC feel a little uncomfortable. She claimed to be an elite who returned from North America, and she was in the upper class of society. How could she look down on these non-Chinese people? She was willing to communicate with these non-Chinese people just because it could show her civilization and noble quality and satisfy her sense of superiority, whether in front of the people of Daxia or in front of these non-Chinese people. UNCC felt that she was superior and superior, so she said lightly, "Remember, in this conflict, we were just defending ourselves." Just when the 6 people were about to continue the discussion, suddenly, a white knife light flashed in the field. It was a cold tail like a sharp blade, which appeared beside the 6 of them without any struggle, and swept towards the heads of the 6 people. Wu Mingji, UNCC, Thompson and others did not react at all. 2. Bendu weak point attack. 2. Furu weak point attack. 2. 5Du weak point attack. They only saw 6 terrifying damage numbers popping up above their heads, and then their eyes went dark. And they heard the prompt from the system. "You were killed by the player Ghost?" Nah. "What? We were all killed in 1 second. Whose damage is so high?" Wu Mingji and UNCC were both confused, and the 4 non-Chinese people, including Thompson, were also shocked by this sudden kill. They thought of Shadow at the first time. But no! Isn't Shadow in Guanggang? Who is this ghost? One skill has more than 20 on damage, and I still owe her 2 lives. When Wu Mingji, when Cece, Thompson and 6 others died and returned together where their bodies were. A petite figure wearing leather armor slowly emerged from the shadows. It was Giling. She lifted the transformation form of the Yellow Spring Evil Ghost and began to silently absorb the lifelight ball in the field. For her, the Sky Dome Guild and the Magic City Bank were of no importance. The key is, Giling is very short of life, and seeing a non-Chinese with a killing value, how could she let it go? Directly attack and kill. I still want to catch up with the teacher, but the teacher suddenly reached level 25. I am only level 14 now, and the teacher has guided me to a better leveling point. Guiling's beautiful eyes were full of admiration and a little bitterness. Her strength has far exceeded that of other players at this stage. People like Thompson are also considered to be in the upper middle level. But in front of her, they can't take a single move. If someone else had the strength of Guiling, they would have been arrogant. But Guiling still felt that she was a rookie, because the only reference in her eyes was Shadow. Compared with Shadow, what else could she be if not a rookie? Teacher has slaughtered a guild alone in Guanggang. Compared to him, I am far behind. We must work harder. Half an hour later, the ruins of the Magic City and the ruins of a gloomy and remote cemetery. Wu Mingji, UNCC and their spouses met Thompson and his 4 companions again. UNCC was indignant. Daxia people are barbaric, relying on their strength to do whatever they want. Thompson scolded unceremoniously. Fuck. Didn't you promise that if you team up with you won't be killed? Wu Mingji's face was also dark. No one knows the identity of that ghost, but it is said that she is from the same guild as Shadow. In short, I will handle this matter. But the premise is that you quit the Magic City Black Dragon Hall first? Thompson was a little confused. What's the use of quitting the guild? We can't change our skin color. Wu Mingji shook his head and said, I will, in the official name, I will establish a guild. If you all join, you will belong to the official members of the Magic City at that time. I will negotiate with Shadow and Sky Guild to make them stop the siege against you. Of course, this will cost a lot of life, so the tax rate of the new guild will be set higher, but it can guarantee your survival in the Magic City. How about it? After hearing this, Thompson and the other 4 whispered for a while. Then Thompson shook his head and said, Shadow is too strong. You may not be able to reach an agreement with him. Your plan is too idealistic. Wu Mingji smiled. What he wants is nothing more than longevity. You have no grudge against him. As long as you give him enough longevity, he will let go. As long as he lets go, everything else will be fine, Thompson said meaningfully. How much longevity is enough? As a Shadow, it is impossible to convince him with dozens or hundreds of years, Wu Mingji said sincerely. Don't worry. With my identity, I can borrow at least 500 years from the Magic City Bank to handle the relationship. After the matter is done, everyone pays enough taxes, and the guild tax rate can be adjusted down. Don't worry. I won't make money from your longevity. I just want to help you. Thompson nodded and said calmly, to join your guild, I must sign a membership contract. Right? I can agree to your conditions and bring my 3 chosen compatriots to join. But before joining, you must show us your strength and make sure you have enough life to settle this matter. In addition, my compatriots are now afraid to go online, and they can hardly buy food in reality. We are almost starving to death. I need Mr. Wu to provide us with some food in reality. Hearing this, Wu Mingji was a little speechless. He asked, "It's okay to show you my strength. I will go to borrow my life in a while. But food, you don't have the Book of Divine Right." Thompson replied, "The Tower of Divine Right is too far. We can't get that far. We will be killed on the way." Wu Mingji nodded. "Okay, give me your address. I will arrange for someone to send some food over." Thompson shook his head. No. The place where we live cannot be exposed. Otherwise, my compatriots and I will be in danger, Mr. Wu. I can drive to your house with my friend. You can use the Book of the Divine Right to make a batch of food for us. Wu Mingji's first reaction was to refuse. After all, it involves a real address, but he changed his mind and thought that only he could save these non-Chinese people now. If the other party messed up, all the demons would be in trouble. The Chinese people will eventually die, and Thompson will never mess around. So Wu Mingji nodded and agreed. Okay. When the other party got the address, he turned and left. When Cece smiled and said, "Husband, you are a genius. Not only did you save them, but you can also let them make money for you." Wu Mingji smiled and said, "More than 2,000 black slaves work for me together. We are going to get rich. Next, I will first borrow 500 years of life from the Magic City Bank in my personal name. So many lifespans. Enough to impress Shadow, right? As long as we negotiate with Shadow and the Sky Guild, we can keep these black slaves. When the guild is in operation, we can get our money back soon." It must be said that their calculations are very clever. However, reality is often very different from imagination. 3 hours later, late at night, Wu Mingji and Yuan Cece received Thompson and others at home. Then, Yuan Cece was responsible for using the Book of Divine Revelation to create food for Thompson and others. Wu Mingji returned to the game and used his identity to apply for a loan at the Magic City Bank. The Magic City Bank, as well as several official banks, are now operating in the godforsaken game. You can deposit and withdraw lifespans, and you can also take out loans, but the interest rate is quite high. The difference from the past is that the loan requirements are more stringent. The stronger the borrower, the higher the amount of lifespan that can be loaned. Wu Mingji took advantage of his position and successfully borrowed 500 years of lifespan. In his opinion, this amount of lifespan will soon pay off for a guild of 3,000 people. If the tax rate is set high, it is easy to collect 100 or 200 years of lifespan every day. When Wu Mingji successfully took out the loan, he appeared in the hall of his real home offline. Thompson was waiting for him. Wu Mingji invited him to trade, then showed him 500 years of lifespan, and closed the trading window. "Is this okay? I will now establish a guild and draft a membership contract. You join first." Wu Mingji hadn't finished speaking yet. Suddenly, Thompson raised his hand and took out a golden crossbow from his backpack. Puff, puff, puff. Like a Thompson submachine gun, he shot dozens of arrows at Wu Mingji's legs, causing his legs to be shot, and he fell to the ground on the spot. Thompson came over smoking a cigarette and looked at Wu Mingji with a joking and contemptuous look. "Daxia, idiot. Remember one sentence. Non-Chinese will never be enslaved. Now, if you don't want to die, hand over all your life. Of course, you don't have to hand it over. If we kill you, we can get half of it, right?" All this suddenness made Wu Mingji's brain crash directly. He knelt on the ground, his legs bleeding, terrified and incomprehensible. "You don't want to live. Without our help, you and your compatriots will die." Thompson laughed. He looked contemptuous. "Compatriots? It's none of my business. As long as we get your lifespan, we can escape from Daxia. I would have found someone to pick us up long ago. By the way, we took your wife with us. She can keep us company on the way out." Wu Mingji endured the pain from his leg and asked with gritted teeth, "My wife, where is she? What did you do to her? You don't have to worry about that. Anyway, we won't treat her badly." Thompson smiled and showed his white teeth. "Now, it's your turn to make a decision. Will you give me your lifespan, or will I take it myself?" He reached out and patted Wu Mingji's face. Wu Mingji wanted to cry but had no tears. His face was ashen, and he was worried about his wife. He was full of regret in his heart. He never expected that his plan, which he thought was brilliant, would actually lead to a wolf entering the house. I'm afraid he would have to wear several hats. In the current situation, it would be fine if he just wore a hat. The most terrifying thing is that he might die. The double pain of both mental and physical pain made Wu Mingji feel like he was falling into the abyss. Now he understood. Why did so many people want to encircle and suppress these non-Chinese people? Because these guys are not human at all. Half an hour later, Wu Mingji humiliatedly gave up 500 years of life to survive. Thompson called the priest of his team to help stop the bleeding of his leg. Thank you. Wu Mingji just thought that the other party still had some conscience. But suddenly, Thompson slapped him and knocked him unconscious. "Stupid," Thompson sneered. "I don't kill you directly because I want to prevent people in your guild from receiving system prompts and attracting the official investigators of Daxia. At present, the official investigators are already very deterrent. Once someone dies, the murderer can be traced quickly. based on the body. So, after Thompson and his team knocked Wu Mingjae unconscious, they tied him to the kitchen with an iron chain and turned on the gas stove directly. In this way, even if Wu Mingjae has extracted some levels and attributes, he will soon die of carbon monoxide poisoning. When Wu Mingjae is tied up, he will be regarded as a combat state and cannot log into the game. There is no way to save himself, unless someone killed him personally. The official investigators would not be able to track down the murderer. After getting the 500-year lifespan, Thompson and his 4 companions took Wu Mingjae's wife Yun Cece and fled the scene directly. 500 years of lifespan. So cool, so cool. With these lifespans, we can live a long time wherever we hide. But to be on the safe side, we still have to leave Daxia. I have contacted a cargo ship. As long as we are given 100 years of lifespan, we can leave Daxia and go to Southeast Asia first. Take this woman with us. I didn't have time to do it just now. Once we get on the cargo ship, we can have a good time, haha. They gagged Yun Cece, tied her up, and threw her into the backseat of the car. Then they drove to the East Coast. Let's go to the East Coast first. Then let that woman use the Book of Divine Revelation to build a raft. We have the clown sheep mount, and we can let the clown sheep pull the raft and send us to the cargo ship route. We can leave Daxia by quietly boarding the cargo ship. Thompson and the other 4 imagined a bright future. They had no idea what kind of terrifying existence existed on the East Coast where they were going to go. As for Yun Cece, she was beaten for resisting, and she felt like her whole body was about to fall apart. She was tied up tightly and thrown in the backseat of the car. Woo woo woo! She twisted in pain and regretted it deeply in her heart. Human rights, civilization. Damn human rights and civilization. Looking back now, she said in her previous post that non-Chinese are also human beings, and non-Chinese lives are also lives. At that time, how could she have thought that she was clearly helping non-Chinese, but the non-Chinese treated her so ungratefully? Before, she thought that the Daxia people were rude and barbaric, but after experiencing everything like a nightmare just now, she finally realized who was really rude and barbaric. Who will save me? Before, she kept posting, accusing the encirclement and suppression of non-national players of being inhumane, but now she sincerely hopes that a hero will appear and kill these non-national players. Otherwise, she can foresee how miserable her end will be. If only Shadow could save me. She thought of the news not long ago. Shadow directly killed the strongest non-national god of war Qatir in Guanggang. If Shadow appeared, wouldn't he be able to kill Thompson and the others at will? But the funny thing is, not long ago, she also posted a post to mock Shadow, criticizing Shadow for being barbaric, racist, and all kinds of hats were put on him. This night, some people are experiencing unimaginable nightmares, and some people are very happy. After Qin Feng broke through the hideout of the non-national God of War Guild, the Bloody Slaughterhouse, he was invited by the Guanggang officials to help kill the platinum level and emerald level boss around the Guanggang ruin. After a few hours, Qin Feng gained a lot. Evolution points are 400. The non-tradable lifespan has finally reached 9,000 years, and the tradable lifespan has also reached 700 years. In fact, so many tradable lifespans are not enough for Qin Feng. He has only a few pieces of equipment extracted from reality now. In the future, when he has higher level skills, the extraction will cost more lifespan. What's more, tradable lifespan can also be used to trade with NPCs. Compared with the lifespan consumed by extracting abilities, Qin Feng is more concerned about being able to trade with NPCs to obtain equipment and skill books that make him more powerful. There is no doubt that the lifespan required is absolutely huge. Go offline to have a meal first, and then go online to prepare to summon the Judgment Envoy. Before returning to the ruins of the Magic City, Qin Feng logged off first and prepared to eat. It happened that Gui Ling also logged off at this time. The two of them ate something together, and during the period they chatted a little about the leveling points. Under Qin Feng's guidance, Guiling's leveling speed was much faster than that of ordinary people. Although she is now level 14, she has already made 3 professional advancements. Otherwise, her level would have reached level 18 to 19. This is far beyond the level of other players, and the development speed is several times faster. After eating, as usual, Qin Feng maintained the invisible state, took Guiling with him, rode Osiris, and patrolled around. Suddenly, he found a suspicious situation. What is that? On the Dark Sea, there seemed to be several figures, sitting on a raft, being dragged away quickly by something. What? Zhao. Ghost was a little confused. Her attributes were not as high as Qin Feng's. In the dark night, she really didn't see what was on the Dark Sea. You can see it if you get closer. Qin Feng asked Osirio to fly over. Soon he saw. It turned out to be 4 non-Chinese. Not only that, they also brought a big Xia woman with them. They were drinking and tearing the woman's clothes. Awesome. Are you trying to have a raft shock? Qin Feng was a little confused. He stretched out his hand to cover Ghost's eyes. Children are not allowed to watch Osirio. Kill those 4 non-Chinese. Osirio was excited. The little flying stick is coming. This guy spread his wings instantly, and 4 bone sword feathers shot out from his white wings in succession. When Osiris launched an attack, its giant body appeared in the night sky. Before Thompson and the other 4 could react, they were suddenly shot through the heart by a bone sword feather. They stared with their eyes wide open and their mouths open wide. They died on the spot without saying a word. Among them, a huge ball of lifelight burst out from Thompson's body. Fuck. So many lifespans. Where did you get this? Just flying around? You can pick up so many lifespans for free. Qinfeng was shocked. So many, at least 700 or 800 years of lifespan. Plus you can bloom and absorb it, adding up to 1,500 or 600 years at the same time. Yuan Sisi, who was about to be treated inhumanely, was stunned when she saw Thompson and the other 4 being shot and killed instantly, and a large ball of lifespan burst out. Could it be Shadow? It's really Shadow. The Shadow came to save me. Yuan Sisi burst into tears. She quickly took out the Book of Divine Gift, spent several days of her life to make a white cloth, put it on herself, and then acted pitiful. She realized that she was saved. Sure enough, when Qinfeng rode Osiris and approached the sea, he said directly, "It's okay. It's safe." Qinfeng didn't know this woman and thought she was a victim. He also planned to save her back. While speaking, he raised his hand, and the scarlet flower bloomed, absorbing the light ball in the field, and destroying the body at the same time. Until then, Qinfeng let go of the eyes covering the ghost. As a result, the girl just opened her eyes and saw Yuan Sisi in front of her. She couldn't help but be surprised. Hey, she's in the same group with the non-Chinese? I just killed her in the game? Yuan Sisi was confused. What was going on? She looked at the petite girl riding on Osirio with Qinfeng. Could this be the ghost? Good things come after bad times. Excessive joy brings sorrow. In just a few seconds, Yuan Sisi went from hell to heaven and then back to hell, with the non-Chinese. When Qinfeng heard Guiling's words, he was stunned. Good guy? I almost thought this woman was a victim. Qinfeng certainly would not doubt Guiling's words. After all, when they were eating just now, the little girl said that she killed 4 non-Chinese, plus 2 Daxia people. A man and a woman. It seems that this woman is the overseas returnee who talks about human rights and civilization. Qinfeng looked at Yuan Sisi indifferently. Although he was too lazy to pay attention to the online discussion, it did not mean that he did not know. When the Skydome Guild was besieging the Black Dragon Hall in the Magic City, Nanfeng was also very clear about the pressure on domestic and foreign forums. Wasn't it the Human Rights Defenders group represented by this woman? Since you like non-Chinese so much, then go on the road with non-Chinese. After Qinfeng said this, he raised his hand coldly. Yuan Sisi was stunned. Really stunned. When she saw the bone dragon with white bones and feathers, she knew that it was Shadow's iconic mount. She thought she was saved. But the ghost who killed her in the game turned out to be in the same group as Shadow. Yuan Sisi didn't see anyone on the bone dragon, but she knew that Shadow and the ghost must be riding on it. She cried for mercy immediately. I was wrong. Spare me. I have realized that human rights and civilization are all bullshit. North America is full of shootings and $0 shopping. North America is barbaric. Unfortunately, she woke up too late. Or rather, it was not a wake-up call at all. After all, she knew the situation in North America better than anyone else, and she was just selectively blind before if she was not facing a life threat. Would she put down her proud sense of superiority? Believe that people like you will admit your mistakes. It is better to believe that I am Qin Shi Huang. Qinfeng is not a savior. A shadow blade broke through the air and attacked Yuan Sisi, who had no ability to resist. She was pierced through the heart and died on the spot. When Osirio emerged into the darkness again, above the sea area, there was only the night sky and the sea breeze, as well as the raft floating on the sea. All traces of Thompson, Yuan Sisi and others were erased by Qinfeng. When Qinfeng brought Guiling back to the yard of the beach restaurant, he took out the Book of Divine Revelation and recycled this beach restaurant into 90% of its lifespan. Since the beach restaurant was built by Qinfeng using the Book of Divine Revelation, so he himself has the authority to recycle it into 90% of its lifespan. Just like Amos at that time, who blocked the passage outside the volcano with a stone wall. It can be built and recycled. Why did the teacher demolish the house? The ghost was wearing black leather armor? With a pair of beautiful eyes full of surprise, she stood tall and graceful in the dark night. Although she was not tall, she still showed the curves that a girl should have. Come with me. Qinfeng waved at her and opened the stone gate at the entrance of the Pure Soul Land. Before, she just let her live in the beach restaurant. But in the past few days, Qinfeng found that this girl was really obedient. Where is this? Ghost Spirit followed excitedly and was shocked to find that there was a huge underground palace underneath. She quickly guessed that this was the hiding place that Shadow Teacher had extracted from reality. Qinfeng took her all the way to the hall of the Pure Soul Land. Pick a room by yourself. If you have any needs in life, just find the mechanical maid. Ghost Spirit blinked and asked a little embarrassedly, Teacher, where is your room? You want to live next door to me. Qinfeng smiled faintly and took her to his temporary room. The ghost nodded and ran over. Many rooms in this place of soul purification are empty, but the ghost has a divine book, so he can decorate the room by himself, arrange beds, sofas, and the like. The girl must need more things than Qinfeng, so let her deal with it herself. After the arrangement, Qinfeng returned to his room and went online again. His figure appeared outside the ruins of Guanggang. In the ruins of a village, next to him, there was a young and plump woman, eagerly waiting for him. When she saw him online, her beautiful eyes lit up. Boss, have you finished eating? Hearing the woman's address to him, Qinfeng felt a pain in his balls. Her codename is a Wisp of Smoke, and she is the official beautiful wizard of Guanggang who participated in killing Kutil. In the past few hours, she has been with Qinfeng, taking Qinfeng to kill various bosses around the ruins of Guanggang. Qinfeng has heard of this woman many times in his previous life. She is a wizard of the Super Weakening School, known for her devilish methods, and is affectionately called Wild Lady by countless people. That's right, it's not the fake. but the Withered Wild, which means that as long as she is targeted, a few skills will make even the strongest person become weak. Whenever she appears in a player confrontation, there will be heart-wrenching cries, "Help, I'm impotent." Of course, Qin Feng didn't have much communication with Guang Gong in his previous life. He only remembered that this woman's husband died just after getting married, and she never found a partner afterwards. After spending a few hours together, Qin Feng always felt a little overwhelmed. This woman is too enthusiastic. At this time, Qin Feng was full and went online. When he heard her calling him boss and boss, his mouth twitched. This title makes me seem very old. Qin Feng couldn't stand it any longer. "If you call me boss again, I'll call you aunt." Yulian pursed her lips, a little aggrieved. I'm not that old, am I?" Qin Feng chuckled. "Really? Let's ask the magical Ocilio." He patted the fierce and cold predator king he summoned by his side. "Don't ask me. I'm face blind. Everyone looks the same." Ocilio glanced at the plump young woman next to him and said coldly, "If you have to say, this one is the same as the ones in Zhanghai City and Modu City before. Only," Yulian was a little puzzled, but she wouldn't argue with the dragon. But when she heard Ocilio's words, her beautiful eyes lit up. "It means that I am the same as Anyu, Wanya Weiyu, and the others. They are all little girls." Ocilio. Who said little girl? Aren't they all ants? Yulian froze on the spot. She got angry and said, "Get out of here, you dragon. Do you believe I can make soup with your dragon bones?" Ocilio. "Don't worry. You actually have an advantage. A wisp of smoke." "What?" Ocilio. "I just learned a word. Big ass. My human assassin will definitely like it. Even Qin Feng couldn't stand it." "What are you learning every day?" "I don't like it." "Drive quickly, Noah. Take off." Qin Feng rode on Ocilio with a wisp of smoke and flew to the coordinates of the next platinum level boss. At the same time, Han Feng opened his backpack. After waiting for 2 minutes, he used the equivalent exchange that had just cooled down to convert an epic skill book. After working hard for most of the day, he finally got the 10th epic skill book for assassins. Several of these skill books are good, but they are just good, not to the point of being a must-learn. First, combine a legendary one. Quality. Quality. Quality comes before quantity. A powerful skill brings much more benefits than a few ordinary skills. Synthesize. You have obtained Endless Nightmare Legendary Assassin's finishing skill, Maritan. Endless Nightmare. Seeing the name of this skill book, Qin Feng's pupils shrank instantly. This skill is invincible. In the last stage of his previous life, he heard that a powerful assassin from abroad had learned this skill, which was an extremely terrifying upper-level affix skill. It is said that with one finishing move, thousands of people in a guild were directly wiped out. And it was not just as simple as killing. Those thousands of people all fell into a terrifying nightmare state. However, Qin Feng did not know what the skill was at the time. "I didn't expect it to be combined directly." Qin Feng's mouth curled up slightly. He looked at the skill book in his hand. Endless Nightmare Legendary. Assassin finishing move. Consume 100 combo points and enter the Nightmare Coming state. Required level 21. Nightmare Coming. Add 25 nightmare gauges to enemies within 30 meters per second. Each attack adds 25 nightmare gauges, which lasts for 7 seconds. Nightmare Reaper passive. Increases damage to enemies with nightmare gauge by 40%. It is a finishing move with continuous effect, and, as expected of a legendary skill, it comes with a super strong upper level affix. After I activate this skill, it only takes 4 seconds to put ordinary players around me into nightmare state. And it also increases damage to enemies with nightmare gauge by 40%. If Qin Feng's damage level was hundreds of thousands before, then after activating the Endless Nightmare effect and entering the Nightmare Advent state, Han Feng's damage level will reach millions. And for finishing moves, as long as there are combo points, you can release it. There is no cooling time. So as long as you can stack 100 combo points within 7 seconds, this Nightmare Advent state can be continued indefinitely. If it is a high-level boss, the resistance of the upper-level affix is relatively high, but continuously stacking the Nightmare scale can also put the boss into a Nightmare state. Although the boss will recover from various higher-level affix states much faster than the player, it can also completely disintegrate the boss's combat effectiveness in a short period of time. And this is the initial legendary skill. Legendary evolution to mythical level is the first evolution, which requires 100 evolution points. Mythical level to ancient level. Only 2,000 evolution points are needed. Ancient level to immortal level. It takes 30,000 evolution points. With Qin Feng's current monster killing efficiency, at least a month. So it is not necessary to consider it that far away for the time being. But it is still relatively fast to evolve this skill to the ancient level. Han Feng has accumulated more than 400 evolution points so far. Should I evolve Endless Nightmare to ancient level directly? Or should I wait and save up 3,000 evolution points to evolve Gift of Liberation to ancient level? Han Feng thought for a moment. What the hell? I'll upgrade the noble upper level effect skill to ancient level first. You have consumed 100 by 2,000 evolution points, and there are 317 points left. My Endless Nightmare Legend, Arrive Myth, Arrive Ancient. Consume 100 combo points and enter the Nightmare Coming state. Nightmare Coming. At 25, arrive 30, arrive 40 nightmare gauges to enemies within 30, arrive 50, arrive 80 meters per second. Each attack adds 25, arrive 30, arrive 40 nightmare gauges, which lasts for 7 seconds. 5. Nightmare Reaper passive. Increase damage to enemies with Nightmare gauge by 40%, arrive 60%, arrive 80%. New effect of Mythic level. Double the range and duration of Nightmare Descent. New effect of Ancient level. Each time you kill an enemy in Nightmare state, permanently increase Nightmare resistance by 0.01 if the enemy level is 5 or more levels lower than your own. The benefit will be reduced. If you kill the boss, the benefit will be increased. 160 meter Nightmare Descent range, 14-second state duration. When the enemy has a Nightmare gauge, the damage increase is increased from 40% to 80%. Of course, all of this cannot be compared with the new effects of the Ancient level. Each time you kill an enemy in Nightmare state, permanently increase Nightmare resistance by 0.1. To be honest, Qinfeng has never seen a skill with infinitely stacked attributes in the 9 years of his previous life. Moreover, this stacked attribute is quite useful. Nightmare resistance. There are just 2 platinum bosses left. Let's try it later. Qinfeng was very satisfied. This skill means that he has finally entered the middle stage from the early stage of the godforsaken game. With his current strength, even if he is put in the previous life 9 years later, he can still threaten most ordinary players. Once the Endless Nightmare starts, 99% of the players can't resist it. Of course, compared with his previous life, when he had developed for 9 years, this skill alone is not enough. After all, his current level is too low. Although his skills are strong, his equipment and attributes are not advantageous. More than 10 minutes later, under the guidance of the young and plump woman Yilu Yan, Osiris flew to the side of a black water river. Yilu Yan came here according to the information, glanced at the river surface, and said to Qinfeng, "The boss is in the river." Qinfeng looked at the stagnant black water river in front of him and was a little surprised. In this river, Yilu Yan covered her face. It is said that there is a black fish in the river. This black water is a gelatinous substance, and it is said that even long-range skills cannot penetrate it. How about forget it? It's a bit troublesome to deal with it. It's okay. Qinfeng shook his head. He has already felt that there is indeed a giant boss in the black water. But it is not that simple to lure the other party out. After all, the range skills can't hit the opponent. Either wait for the boss to come out, or rely on the superordinate affix. He let Osirio carry him and flew around nearby, finding many patrolling and resting monsters. Because he merged into the darkness with Osirio, these monsters didn't feel the danger coming at all. Qinfeng threw out the Shadow Blade directly, and killed a rotten slime monster with one shot. This made Qinfeng a little uncomfortable. It's a bit difficult to stack 100 combo points like this. 100 monsters are not so easy to find. Maybe the combo points on the body will start to drop before they are all found. If you can reduce the damage and get more combo points from a monster, it will be much faster. Qinfeng took off all the equipment that increased the attack. Then she said to Yilu Yan, "Sister Yan, I heard that you have a great impotence skill. Use it on me." The young and plump woman was confused when she heard it. How did you know I have this skill? And who would take the initiative to ask for impotence? Osirio was also shocked. 6. Qinfeng sneered. Don't make a fuss. There are many things you haven't seen. Watch carefully and learn well. After confirming with Qinfeng again and again, Yilu Yan took out her witchcraft ball with a strange look on her face. The most effective weakness skill can reduce all your damage by 75%, but the chanting time is a bit long, unless the target does not move. It is difficult to hit you wait. Yilu Yan was a little excited about Qinfeng's strange request. Qinfeng fell to the ground first, and then she began to chant and cast a spell. Waves of black fog gathered in the area where Qinfeng was, until 12 seconds later. The black fog drilled into Qinfeng. You have suffered from the great weakness corrosion. All the damage you cause is reduced by 75% for 30 seconds. Man. Done. Then, Qinfeng did not enter the invisible state, but rushed to a 6-armed crawler Love 23 beside him with a most useless bronze dagger. With super fast speed, Qinfeng waved the dagger and directly attacked the target. Due to no invisibility, no skill addition, no professional bonus, no back attack, and the effect of great weakness corrosion, Qinfeng's damage finally came down. Each knife can only cause a little over 1,000 damage. This is because of the gift of liberation. Qinfeng can't avoid the opponent's weakness at all. Otherwise, the damage of each knife is estimated to be more than 300 points. One knife is more than 1,000. This damage is still not low enough. Qinfeng couldn't help but sigh. Yilu Yan heard this and held his forehead with his hand. Is this human talk? After taking my impotence technique, any casual attack can do more damage than other people's core skills. In fact, Qinfeng was really distressed, but there was nothing he could do. His attributes were much higher than those of ordinary players. Equipment can be taken off, skills can be unused, but the attributes and bloodline effects can't be suppressed. Fortunately, this level 23 monster also has 30,000 to 50,000 health points. Qinfeng held the dagger in his hand and directly attacked 5 times in 1 second, and the combo points stacked up quickly. After killing several monsters in succession, Qinfeng's combo points finally accumulated to 100 points, and at the same time, the effect of the Great Weakness Erosion just disappeared. He quickly returned to the Blackwater River, Endless Nightmare. Start when Qinfeng consumed 100 combo points. He released the Endless Nightmare, a terrifying aura spread from him, and the area within 160 meters around him suddenly became dark and full of ghosts. Qinfeng was shrouded in nightmare energy. At the same time, The enemies within 160 meters around him began to stack nightmare gauges. The platinum level boss, Big Black Fish, hidden in the Black River, also began to be affected by the nightmare affix and rushed out of the black water with a roar. Qinfeng could see that the nightmare gauge on the boss's head could stack about 4% per second. It seems that this boss has 800 or 900 points of nightmare resistance. It's worthy of being a boss template. Qinfeng's mouth curled up slightly. Since he didn't change into the original set of equipment, the damage is not very high now. Continue to attack the boss normally. Each attack can stack 4% of the boss's nightmare gauge. After the Big Black Fish rushed out of the black water, it spit all kinds of black mucus at Qinfeng. But this range attack was useless to Qinfeng and he dodged it easily. Blackfish flicked its tail. Blackfish bit. When the boss released various skills, Qinfeng dodged them with a flash. As the nightmare gauge of the boss stacked higher and higher, it became more and more unconscious. Finally, when Qinfeng's nightmare coming state was about to end, Qinfeng chased and chopped it into the nightmare state. The platinum level Big Black Fish boss completely lost its ability to move in an instant and fell into an unimaginable nightmare of horror, and a recovery bar appeared above its head. The boss's upper state recovers very quickly. Look at this recovery speed. It will recover in about 7 seconds. Of course, Qinfeng would not give it 7 seconds. Directly hide in silence, instant shadow slash. When Qinfeng launched an attack in stealth, all damage increases from stealth breaking. Skill additions. Professional bonuses. Weaknesses. Backstrikes were fully taken. Instantly. The health bar of the platinum level Blackfish was slashed. Putting the boss into nightmare state has another important effect. The boss in nightmare state cannot be locked. This will make Qinfeng's future boss strategy more convenient. You killed the poisonous Blackfish King Nuriel platinum level. You gained 14 4U experience points. Congratulations on gaining 20 evolution points. Man! You gained 7 55 years of life tradable. You permanently increased nightmare resistance by 13. Qinfeng was naturally most concerned about the last one, and the most important reason why he wanted to experiment was the Hand of Greed. Unfortunately, the greedy hand did not find more nightmare resistance rewards, although a little disappointed. It is normal to think about it. What kind of skill is this? It's too cool, isn't it? A wisp of smoke stood aside, watching Qinfeng start the nightmare, and the whole person was like a nightmare. The scary thing is that the Big Black Fish boss actually fell into a state where he couldn't resist at all. Yiluyan now knows the existence of the superordinate affix, but she never thought that as a player. Shadow could make the boss fall into a nightmare state and unable to move. For a moment, the young and plump woman was a little stunned. Then, Yiluyan took Qinfeng to kill the last platinum level boss officially discovered outside the Guanggang ruin. Then Qinfeng prepared to say goodbye and leave. Guanggang is far away. If there is a boss above the emerald level in the future, you can contact me. If it is not emerald level, forget it. Before leaving, Qinfeng told Yiluyan. Yiluyan nodded seriously. Okay, I know. Qinfeng first took her back to the center of the Guanggang ruins, and then put her down and left, watching Qinfeng's back as he left. This wisp of smoke first reported the situation to the official sister, and then sighed. Oh, I really hope I can become an emerald level boss. The other side was confused. Why do you have such an idea? A wisp of smoke. This way, the shadow can attack me. The ruins of the Demon City, the hideout of the Evil Spirit Academy. Xin Fin returned from Guanggang and prepared to summon the Judgment Envoy Ashasis. He first glanced at the attribute panel. Thanks to the 1550 years of life sent by those non-Chinese people, I now have a total of more than 5,000 years of life. After completing this challenge, go to the Abyss of Wrongful Death and buy a top-level mask. Qinfeng quietly returned to the second underground floor of the Evil Spirit Academy. He found a spacious place, took out the Ashasi's summoning bell, and shook it gently twice. Ding-ling-ling! When the bell sounded, a figure in a sacred white robe slowly condensed and appeared in front of Qinfeng. It was the long-lost Judge Ashashi's. She wrapped her graceful body in a white robe. With her hands clasped in front of her chest, after condensing and appearing, she bowed slightly to Qinfeng, and her pair of light golden eyes were sacred and majestic. A soft and ancient god's words came to Qinfeng's ears. Inheritor, are you ready for the challenge? An option appeared in front of Qinfeng. Do you want to challenge the judge? Yes, no. Qinfeng didn't know whether it was a judge challenge after seeing Ashashi's twice before, but in short, he was ready. Just choose yes. When he made his choice, a round white portal appeared in front of him. Ashashi slowly walked to the portal, bowed to Qinfeng, and stood aside. Qinfeng walked forward and touched the white portal. The next moment, his surroundings turned into a white world. When the white light dissipated, he found himself on a high platform. At the same time, a series of system prompts sounded in Qinfeng's mind. Welcome to the Land of Judgment. Player Black Plum Big Plum has joined the Land of Judgment. Player A Wisp of Smoke has joined the Land of Judgment. Player Justice Execution has joined the Land of Judgment. Player Snowy Day has joined the Land of Judgment. Player Xiao Yuya has joined the Land of Judgment. After hearing the series of system prompts, Qinfeng's brain crashed. What the hell? What kind of challenge is this? Qinfeng was alone, standing on a 300-meter high platform. He looked down. The entire platform was made of white jade-like rocks, smooth and flawless, emitting a white and soft light, illuminating the entire space. Around the white jade platform, there was a maze illuminated by white light. The walls of the maze were also white jade-like brick walls. The entire space looked very sacred. But in the distance, there was a deep and endless darkness, the place of judgment. What kind of challenge is this? Hinfeng frowned slightly. He saw white light coming out at different locations in the maze below. One by one, players were summoned in through the system prompts. Hinfeng discovered many of these players were people he knew. For example, all 6 members of Wang Meng's team were present. Wang Meng, Lin Liu, and Yu Shuiqian, as well as the sharp-eyed shooter youth and the cardmaster uncle. However, when entering the Judgment Land, everyone was separated and appeared alone in a corner of the maze. Hinfeng also saw the young and plump woman from Guanggang, a wisp of smoke. Even the little lolly ghost was teleported in. Wan Ye Wei Yu, Xin Xiaoyou. Chen Wuming is also here. Safety first. Steady as an old dog. Hinfeng was silent. He found that a total of about 100 people were summoned to this space. The composition of these teleported players is very complicated. There are his friends in this life. There are also friends from his previous life, but he has never dealt with them in this life. There are enemies from his previous life. There are even more complicated compositions like Qin Xiaoyu. At this time, these people are temporarily unable to move and cannot see Qinfeng, who is invisible on the White Jade platform. They were scattered all over the White Jade maze, all observing the surrounding situation with some doubts and vigilance. Hair! A soft chant of ancient divine language came from Qinfeng's side. Qinfeng turned sideways and saw the judge, Ashashisi, in a white robe, quietly coming to his side. Under the white robe, her face was delicate and sacred, and a faint smile appeared in her light golden eyes. This challenge, you can regard it as an internship trial. Internship trial. Yinfeng was a little surprised to hear her say this. Can this trial still be practiced? But I'm finally going to touch something related to the power of judgment. These players who were teleported in, could they be my subjects of judgment? Yinfeng narrowed his eyes, looking forward to it. Ashashisi stood beside him, raised her white jade-like arm, and tapped it a few times in the air. A line of light golden font appeared in front of Qinfeng. This challenge is called Fair Trial. Except you. There are 100 players who come to the land of trial. After the challenge begins, 20 of them will be given the status of fugitives and 80 of them will be given the status of pursuers. Maya. Please kill all the guilty people, and the challenge will succeed if you kill them by mistake or miss them. The challenge will fail. Man. Hinfeng glanced at the challenge rules, and the rules were very simple. But this question is difficult to solve. Guilty people. How to judge whether a person is guilty? At this time, 2 more lines of prompts popped up in front of Qinfeng. Fugitive camp. Get 30% extra speed. The mission goal is to survive for 30 minutes. Pursuer camp. Cause double damage to fugitives. The mission goal is to kill as many fugitives as possible. Sorry? Note. After 30 minutes, the more fugitives survive. The more rewards all fugitives will get. The more fugitives the pursuers kill. The more rewards all pursuers will get. The situation is a bit complicated. Huanfeng fell into deep thought. This seems to be a role-playing escape game. In this game, Qinfeng needs to find the guilty people and kill them all. Judge, you are God. Who is guilty will be chosen by you before the challenge begins. Ashasi smiled slightly, moved her lips slightly, and said 2 words of ancient gods, and then her figure dissipated into star-like light. Who is guilty? I choose. Hinfeng was a little surprised. Does this mean that I can kill whoever I want? Whoever is guilty is guilty. It can't be that simple. Qinfeng narrowed his eyes. He saw that after Ashasis's white robe disappeared, a light golden button appeared in front of him. Who is guilty? Qinfeng reached out and clicked the button, as expected. In front of him appeared 8 options. Who is guilty in this activity? Please make a choice. Option 1. People you don't know are guilty. Option 2. People who are not your friends are guilty. Option 3. Your relatives are guilty. Option 4. People who are hostile to you are guilty. Option 5. Those who take the left foot first are guilty. Option 6. Those who escape are guilty. Option 7. Those who pursue are guilty. Option 8. Those who betray the camp are guilty. What the hell? So many trap options. Hinfeng saw at a glance that some options were purely used to fool people. Take option 1 for example. People you don't know are guilty. On the surface, if you choose this option, it seems that people Qinfeng knows will be not guilty. But what is the standard for knowing? Does knowing someone in this life count if you didn't know them in the previous life? If I don't know someone in this life, does it count if I knew someone in the previous life? If I kill the wrong person or miss someone, this challenge will fail. For example, the second option is, those who are not your friends are guilty. What if you are a friend in the previous life but not in this life? What if you added someone as a friend and then deleted him? There is no need to think about the third option, although it is very tempting. It seems that you can complete the challenge by killing only Qin Xiaoyu. But Qinfeng has no blood relationship with her and has verbally severed the relationship. In the eyes of the system, are he and her relatives? As for the fourth option, people who are hostile are guilty. I don't know who is hostile to me. What if there was hostility once and only for a moment? In summary, the judgment conditions of these 4 options are too vague. It is not as reliable as the 5th option. Those who take the left foot first are guilty. At least Qin Feng can clearly define it. Defining by their identities is inherently vague. After all, the situations in the last life and this life are completely different, and I don't know what the criteria of this system are. If we define by their behavior, it is still not accurate enough. After all, it is difficult for me to observe the behavior of 100 people at the same time, just like the laws of Daxia. The laws are so clearly written, but there are still a lot of false cases. So, the simplest way is to define by their temporary identities in this event. For example, the fugitive is guilty, and the pursuer is guilty. The simpler one, of course, the fugitive is guilty. You only need to kill 20 to complete this challenge. After a brief thought, Qin Feng already had his own answer. So, he reached out and clicked the button. In the pop-up options, he chose, the fugitive is guilty. After Qin Feng made his choice, this challenge officially started. He remained invisible, standing on the white jade platform, overlooking the complex maze below. When the challenge began, the 100 players in the maze finally gained the ability to move, and each of them got an identity, or a fugitive, or a pursuer. Although I had to make this choice, but as expected, there are a total of 20 fugitives, among which more than 10 are friends I met in this life, and many are friends I met in the previous life. Let's go! Osiris. Qin Feng shook his head. He summoned Osiris, turned on the dragon, and soared down like a gust of wind. Among the fugitives, there are Wang Meng, Lin Liu, a wisp of smoke, and Qin Xiaoyu. Qin Feng killed some people and killed them. But some friends or partners still have to be taken care of. How much life they have lost? Go back and give them some compensation. So, Qin Feng rode on Osiris. And in just 10 seconds, he descended more than 300 meters and came to this maze. The one who appeared in front of him was a young man, dressed as a magician. Holding a staff and wearing a light blue robe, he carefully leaned against the white jade wall with a layer of thunder element shield on his body and was walking forward along the maze passage. His identity was a fugitive. The task was to survive in this land of judgment for 30 minutes, and his codename was, Mom said that if the name is too long, there will be fools who read it. This codename, even Qin Feng was taken advantage of. This guy was a subordinate of Qin Feng's guild in his previous life, because of the codename. Qin Feng was impressed. Your name is long, right? Die for me? Qin Feng was invisible, and a dart flew out directly penetrating the magic shield on his body, and then accurately hit the opponent's forehead. Puff. 45-8. 47. 4W weak point attack. The fugitive, Mom said the name is too long and there will be fools who read it, has died. Number of fugitives, 1. This codename is too outrageous. Qin Feng didn't know why he had accepted this person into the guild in his previous life. Fortunately, Qin Feng saw that this guy's current guild is Knight's Temple. I wonder if the players of Knight's Temple will curse every time they see this guy's codename. And when Qin Feng came back to his senses, he was suddenly stunned, because he found a blind spot. Didn't this guy explode the life light ball? And it seems that there is a missing system prompt. Qin Feng held the Tyrone 3 Maker killing Starblade in his hand. Logically, after killing the target, the other party will obtain the Tyrone 3 mark. But at this time, the young wizard did not become the grandson of Tyrone. Qin Feng could not track his position after resurrection in the game. He could not track his position in reality. The special effects of the legendary weapon did not take effect. The player's lifespan did not explode after death. There is only one possibility. This is not a real person at all. Qin Feng suddenly realized. Originally, he felt that it was a bit outrageous to pull so many players with complex backgrounds into the same venue to carry out an inexplicable task. Now it seems these players are not people at all. Instead, they are illusions generated for Qin Feng's challenge task this time. In that case, what are you still entangled about? I'll kill. Qin Feng breathed a sigh of relief. Originally, he felt a little sorry for killing his friends, and he had to make up for it later. But now it's okay. So, Qin Feng continued to fly to the next fugitive. Soon, in his sight, a holy shield warrior with an emerald shield and platinum armor appeared. Wang Meng, and he was struggling to resist the attacks of 2 pursuers. Those 2 pursuers were Dragon Swordsman An Yu and Whitebird Priest Gu Yishui. They are not real people. Are they otherwise? How could they fight so easily? Even if the fugitives and pursuers did not reveal their identities to each other in this activity, it could not be explained. Because identity and appearance can be hidden, but skills cannot be hidden. Once the fight started, both sides would throw skills randomly, and usually the same team could recognize each other's identity at a glance. But now, An Yu and Gu Yishui were beating Wang Meng to death, and Yu wielded an emerald sword, and every time he attacked the target, he would either trigger Dragon Flame, or triggering Dragon Fang, or Dragon Breath. There are also Dragon Roar, Dragon Armor, and other buff states. Waves of explosions made Wang Meng retreat again and again, and the violent priest Gu Yishui, with a slender figure, cast spells from afar, and a series of light shockwaves fell from the sky, even hitting Wang Meng's professional skill invincible. Wang Meng was struggling to hold on. Suddenly, 3 shadow blades flew from midair and hit Wang Meng's head accurately. The second one dispelled his invincible state and killed him. By the way, the fugitive Wang Ming has died. Number of fugitives, 1. Same as last time. There was no life light ball, and no system prompt about the Mark of Tyrone III. So, Qin Feng flew all the way. Other players could only get lost in the maze, only he has a flying mount. So he can fly freely in the sky and chase down fugitives at will. Number of fugitives, 1. Number of fugitives, 1. Soon. Qin Feng killed a total of 19 fugitives. His speed was so fast that the other pursuers could not react at all. There was only one fugitive left in the field. Zhao Yu. Qin Feng quickly flew over her. He found that she was being chased by 2 pursuers. She is not a fugitive. So does she have a 30% speed bonus? Why is she running so slowly? Fan Feng was a little surprised when he took a look, but he soon remembered. This Qin Xiaoyu had her legs sawed off by the murderer. Although he entered the game in a disabled state, his limbs must be intact in the game. But it will also cause a significant reduction in all attributes, including speed. Although it's an illusion, it's quite realistic. Qin Xiaoyu moved in the maze with difficulty and darkness. Like a snail, Qin Feng didn't hesitate at all. He flew up on Osiris and fired a shadow blade, directly penetrated her heart and sent her to heaven. 20 guilty people killed. Is this mission completed? An Feng's expression didn't change. Just when he wanted to turn around and leave, he suddenly froze, because he saw, on the curled up body of Qin Xiaoyu, a large ball of life light was condensed. Wang Difa. Others are fake. Only this thing is real. Qin Feng was confused. I'm stuck today, because I've written and deleted tens of thousands of words due to the key plot and worldview development. There are only 2 chapters today. Sorry guys. I'll make up for the missed chapters when the plot goes smoothly. I'm just asking for some power for love.